and times of Paddy Armstrong. That is Paddy Armstrong of the Guildford Four. And it's on Saturday night. It stars Don Whcherley, and you may well know Don from TV and films. He's been in Bachelor's Walk, Ballycus Angel, Father Ted, and smaller roles, and Veronica Gear and Michael Collins, and so on, as well as spending many years on the Abbey stage in Dublin. Don joins us now on the line. Don, good afternoon.
Hi, John. Thanks for having me.
No bother. Good to talk. Bachelor's Walk. Is there a day or a week goes by but somebody mentions Bachelor's Walk? What was it about Bachelor's Walk?
I don't know. It struck a chord at the time. I think it was it just Dublin needed that at that time or something, or Ireland. It was like I suppose it's the 90s now. I don't get recognized as much anymore, John.
Well,
I've changed somewhat.
You're not instantly recognizable as the character from Bachelor's Walk, but nonetheless, nonetheless.
Yeah, I've just got better looking. What can I say?
That's it. It was a brilliant show. Now listen, what's also brilliant is this show that's in An Grianán at the weekend. You've been getting rave reviews.
Well, listen, it doesn't always happen, so you take them when you get them. I'm sure any actor would say that. Any football team, Donegal or Corkman here. So we'll take the good when it comes.
Yeah.
Listen, it was a show that Mary Elaine Tynan co-wrote Paddy Armstrong's biography about his life after life, it's called, and it was a fantastic biography, and it went down very well. I hadn't read it, but she went looking to see if it was possible to make a one-man show about the book. So she was led to me by a few people in theatre and said, he's the man for the one man. Yeah. So she came after me and basically pursued me until I said, yes, I'll read the book. And then I read the book, and obviously it was an amazing read. Paddy's life is like a roller coaster of, people I suppose think of the Guildford Four, they think of Jerry Conlon, the movie In the Name of the Father, all that stuff. But Paddy's journey was different to Jerry's, similar but different, and probably more understated because not as many people know about Paddy Armstrong. So when I read the book, I learned loads of new stuff that was fascinating for me, historically wise and otherwise. And then she went off and said, can this be a one man? I said it could. I said there's so much to choose from. The biggest problem would be what to jettison, what to get rid of. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so we set about meeting. She said initially I knew the work involved, so I was going, do I want this? But she said, would you like to meet Paddy? And I said that was the first piece of bait she gave me, and I really wanted, because I remember graduating college from St. Pat's in Drumcondra as teacher training, and we went straight over to the pub to the Cat and Cage after, and that was on the telly, the Guildford Four getting released, and we had just graduating to a new life of teacher serfdom. And there was Paddy Armstrong and the Guildford Four being set free, so I was always aware of it. So then to be part of writing his life story for stage was a huge honor, really. And we spent about a year arguing, fighting over what stays, what shouldn't stay. Is like I would be going, that's a great story, but how is it helping the narrative of the show? And once we found why Paddy talks in a one-man show, when I go to see a one-man show, John, I want to know, why does the girl start talking to the audience? And when I met Paddy, and he's such a verbose and such a funny character, and everyone thinks of the Guildford Four story, oh my God, that's going to be a dirge of a night. That's depressing as hell. When you meet Paddy, it's not. And once I realized the humor of the man and knew that we could intersperse that humor through the facts, the horrific facts of the 15 years he spent incarcerated, and he got through that because of that sense of humor. And I think I'd be very surprised if people don't come out and going, God, there was some laughs in that. And yet it took me on a journey that I wasn't expecting to go. That's why I'm talking about the roller coaster. He's a very funny, witty, droll, black Belfast humor man, is Paddy. you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and he tells it as is, and then sometimes he would go quiet if you asked him a tough question. I was going like, Paddy, will you tell me about that? And he might go for the gag element, and I'd keep at him, and I'd go, come on, tell it, you know, and but he'd always try to get back to the humor, and that's something that we suffused into this show in abundance. So I don't want people thinking, oh God, that's going to be a tough watch, or it's actually not. And it's what I would like to think a good play is: you go to a play, there's humor, there's laughter, there you get moved, possibly to tears, but that's what encapsulates a good night out at a theater for me, anyway.
Well, it says it all about a good play. It also says it all about the man that he was able to retain a sense of humour despite being locked up for 15 years.
Well, this is it. Not many would have that. And it's like his life is in different, like the journey from coming out, trying to adapt after 15 years. He couldn't use money. He didn't know. The first shop he went into, he spent 30 quid, English quid, on chocolate. He said, never seen someone. He was like a kid in a sweet shop, and then adapting. And then he went to had a few wild years and went a little mad. He helped Daniel Day Lewis on the movie because Jim Sheridan said, "Shadow these guys. This is the accent you need to." He actually mentions him in the play. So there's no, and then he went on, and then he met Caroline, his wife, who we met. She's a teacher in Holy Faith, who was teaching alongside Mary Lane, who helped write the biography with Paddy. So the whole thing comes together, and I don't know. To me, it's a great night of theatre, and I hope the people of Letterkenny and the wider Donegal audience come into An Grianán on Saturday night.
Well,
And we're making the journey up. We're building the set.
good.
We're going to be there, and it's going to be some show. And I guarantee you, what people have said, it's hard filling a theater, but what we've been hearing from the ones that some full, some not, when they go, oh God, we want it back. Everyone was talking about it after. So don't be the ones left behind here now.
All right.
I'm telling you, it's coming. You should be there, Donegal. God, get off your rears there.
Because the word is good. There's been a number of Donegal people that have already seen it in Dublin,
Indeed.
and you met a few of them, and as you're saying now, don't leave it when it's too late and you hear others talking about it. Just it's there on Saturday night, and make the most of the opportunity. And the pressure's all on you because you're the man. You're at on stage for the what is it?
That's
75
it. Yeah,
minutes.
that's the only downside for people. It's me the whole time.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's I suppose I take on many of the characters as well, and it's not just me talking. I go through the various stages of his life, so his younger life, family, the time in prison, the difficulties, the fun he had. He lived in a squad. Paddy was a kind of relaxed individual when he went to London first, and he was didn't work too hard. Decided to move out of rental and accommodation in favor of a squat, and because it was easier on the pocket. So he was footloose and fancy free until it all went pear shaped, and we know a lot about that then. But what's amazing is that at the opening night in the Viking, when we opened it, his solicitor Alistair Logan came along and spoke how the police have hidden all the files for another 75 years. You cannot access the files about the conviction of the Guildford Four. It's now 50 years after it. They should be openly released, but nobody has seen them, and they've been locked up for another 75 years. Now, you'll always get, I ended up in an argument after the show. A guy came that firmly believed that Paddy Armstrong was involved. And I said, well, he said, there's no smoke without fire. And I was going, you know what? I said, uh, I've read every piece of this book. I've spoken to Paddy. I know him fairly well. And I can categorically say that is not true. And people in the book who were involved say he wasn't involved. But there's always some people that, are going to have an opinion. So, and opinions are formed, and opinions will be formed on Saturday night after my performance. And they'll go, what part of Belfast was he supposed to be from? You know what I mean?
Well,
You'll always get somebody
yeah.
going something. But what I think we've captured the essence of who Paddy Armstrong was and is in the show, and the journey he went on. So I hope, as I said, people will come along and see that and watch that journey.
Okay. Well, it's called Paddy, The Life and Times of Paddy Armstrong, and it is on Saturday night in An Grianán Theatre in Letterkenny.
Is the grill still going up in
No,
Letterkenny?
the grill's been flattened. You can see me.
All right. I was just planning. I was just planning where to go after, John.
Oh no, not the grill. Anyhow, you'll have a very quiet night if you make for the grill. There's other
It's
places.
probably a chipper now or something.
Well,
Is it?
it's nothing now at the moment. No.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh dear!
I'll change.
Oh, dear.
You'll find someplace.
see,
Don't worry.
I'll have to look up Google Maps for something else.
I just keep on going past the grill. The whole action's down the other end of the town now, for the most part.
Oh, is it? Okay,
well,
good to
before
know.
before or after the grill. So
Okay, good
anyhow.
to know.
Anyway, listen, we look forward to it Saturday night, Don. Good to talk to you.
Thanks a million, John.
right.
See you soon.
And a reminder, by the way, that on Grianán website, if you would like ticket information about the play on Saturday night, angrianán.com.